Hey yogis, this is Tiffany at Yoga at Tiffany's LLC. I appreciate you joining me for some yoga practice today. I invite you to come to an easy pose on your mat. So just cross-legged, maybe sit on a block or bolster. There's some blankets, whatever makes you feel good. Maybe raise the hips a little bit higher than your knees. Get long and tall through the spine. Draw your chin back just slightly so that it's not jutting forward. Kind of reverse a little bit of the forward lean that we tend to do. And you can softly close your eyes or just a soft gaze down to the ground. And we'll begin to deepen our breath. And you can practice Ujjayi breathing if you'd like, your victorious oceanic breath. And just in through the nose, out through the nose. Expanding your rib cage and at the same time expanding your stomach forward. So diaphragmatic breathing, just expanding all parts, all corners of your lungs. And as we deepen our breath before we begin our practice, maybe set an intention for yourself today. Could be something like staying focused and in tune with your breath, which is a challenge sometimes, most times. Or maybe it could be to be gentle and practice with ease and patience. And just feel the sensations around you. Whether you're in or outdoors, just take notice of the temperature, texture. If there's any certain smell or taste. Feel your sits bones rooting down into the earth beneath you. And lengthen through your spine, get a little taller through the neck. Crown of your head reaches towards the heavens above. And if you set your intention and take your time, always take your time beginning your practice. Always tune in with your body, tune in with your breath, do a full body scan, check in with what needs to be checked in. But when you're ready, join your hands at heart center, thumbs pressing closely to your heart, and bow forehead to fingertips. And maybe let's do a collective Om together. So one nice full inhale. And now that we've sealed our practice, go ahead and open the eyes softly if they're closed. Inhale, reach fingertips out, up, overhead, high to the heavens. And exhale, float, wrist leads the way. Again, reach nice and tall. Filling up the belly with air. Now just release the right hand down. And stretch the left side of the body. Keep your left shoulder hugged down into your torso. And you're really creating length and space between the ribs on the left side of your body. 2 more rounds of breath here. Each inhalation getting a little bit taller. And each exhalation, maybe try to let go of something. 1 more breath. On your next exhalation, float the left hand down. Inhale, reach fingertips out and up. Exhale, float the left hand down and gaze remains up past the right fingertips. On your next inhale, grow really, really tall. Reach through the right arm. Exhale, settle that right shoulder, but keep the fingertips reaching skyward. With every inhalation, creating space between the ribs, pulling the rib cage away from the hips and pelvis. One more full cycle of breath. And on your next exhalation, float that right hand down. Beautiful. Inhale, reach fingertips out and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful, yogis. Go ahead and circle the wrists. Just 4 circles one way, 4 circles the opposite direction. Start to lubricate the joints. Maybe shoulder roll a little bit. And forward roll. If this is your morning practice, sometimes you want to go a little slow, grooving into your practice. Body needs time to wake up. But go ahead and join me in tabletop. I'll face this way. Okay, and in tabletop, you always want to check in, stack the wrists underneath the shoulders, kneecaps underneath your hips. Push firmly into the tops of your feet, and then just relax the legs. But make sure your toes aren't sickled. Sometimes that happens. So just check in. On an inhale, we'll come to cow, Vidyalasana. So draw the navel center down, point the sits bones high, open your heart to the front of your space. And then as you exhale, come to cat pose, Marjayasana. Tuck your tail, draw your spine high, relax your head so that your gaze is through your thighs. And really start to pull your shoulder blades away from your top of your spine. Inhale to cow. Open your heart to the front of your space, filling up with air. And then exhale, tilt the pelvis so that your sits bones are tucked behind you, your spine is reaching high, you're doming out your belly, and your neck is completely relaxed. We'll do 2 more rounds. And throughout the practice today, when I say inhale or exhale, it's basically just an invitation that you're on your next inhale or your next exhale. You never hold your breath until I give a inhale or exhale cue, or you'll pass out on the mat. So inhale, on your next inhale, come to cow, last cow. And on your next exhalation, tuck your tail and draw your spine, stretching those shoulder blades out and away, creating space and length. Inhale, come to neutral tabletop. We'll go ahead and extend the right foot back so you're on the ball of your right foot, and kind of just start to rock back and forth. So you're doing a couple different things here. You're starting to awaken the wrists a little more actively. You're spreading your fingers nice and wide, getting blood flow into the palms. And then you're stretching your calf muscle on your right leg. And after a few more bounces, then we'll go ahead and set up for a variation of a side plank. So keeping your left leg where it is, go ahead and flatten that right heel. Okay, and then stack the hips first. When you've got your hips stacked and you feel some steadiness, go ahead and slowly stack the shoulders. So right shoulder over left, maybe the right hand comes to the hip. Stay here. If you want to get a little more balance, challenge, reach the right fingertips high. This is a great preparation for Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon. Stacking the hips and shoulders, creating one connected, intertwined side body balance routine. Da-dum. But really try to connect with your breath here. Really try to draw in the navel center, activate your core, keep your neck long and soft, shoulders are hugging down into the torso. And as you exhale, unstack the shoulders, release the right hand down, come back to the ball of the right foot, and return your knee back. Now you can come to child's pose just to recollect your breath. Sometimes that can really wind you if you're trying to activate the abdomen a little intensely. Maybe rock side to side, stretching out the underarms, keeping those fingers nice and spread wide. And join me back in tabletop. This time, go ahead and extend the left leg out, ball of the left foot. Start to rock back and forth, stretching out that calf on the left side. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and keep the wrists pretty much underneath the shoulders. Micro bend in the elbows. Gaze can be soft and to the top of your mat. And when you're ready, go ahead and release that left heel down, flatten that foot, stack the hips first. Check in with the knee and hand alignment. So right knee's underneath the right hip, right hand's underneath the right shoulder. And when you feel steadiness, go ahead and stack the shoulders. You did on the first side, try to do it on the second side. So maybe extend that left hand high, reaching through the fingertips, pulling that left shoulder down into the torso, keeping your neck nice and long, engaging all of your abdominals, keeping your breath smooth, and stay here in this pose. Be here in this posture. Don't worry about what's to come or what's already happened. This is the most important pose right here, right now. And on your next exhalation, go ahead and unstack the shoulders first, releasing your left palm back down underneath your left shoulder. Come back to the ball of the left foot and return back to tabletop, Goasana. All right, so we'll come to our first downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. First down dog of the practice. Keep your knees extremely bent, generous in the bending of the knees, okay? Tuck your tail. Hover your knees and try to lift your hips high so your tailbone is kind of pointing directly up. Your knees are nice and bent. You're on your tippy toes. You're pressing actively through your palms. Your arms are nice and engaged. A little bit of bend in the elbows to protect your joints, of course. But your head is completely chilled out and relaxed. Your gaze is just falling somewhere between your legs. And then maybe invite one heel at a time down towards the mat. Never force the heel down to your mat. You never want to pull a hamstring. That doesn't feel too good. Pedal it out maybe. Walk in the dog, they say. Downward facing dog is a beautiful, beautiful pose that with time you will grow to crave. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay. Push actively through the palms. Gaze up to the palms. Come to your tippy toes, bend your knees. And then step, float, jump, walk, tippy toe, whatever rocks your socks. Walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Straighten your spine, reach through the crown of your head, and then exhale, fold forward. I invite everybody, always in a fold forward, or forward fold rather, Uttanasana, to keep a little bend in your knees. This protects your joints. On your next inhale, bend your knees generously. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, creating a fluid-like roll or a wave-like sensation through the spine. Let your head hang, and then the very last, lift your head. Gaze forward, shoulder roll. Come into Tadasana. Tadasana. So, standing at attention. You have two options. Well, you have 1,000 options really, but big toes can touch with a sliver of space between your heels, or you can put your feet hip-width distance. You can have your eyes open or softly shut. And just start to recollect the breath. Take everything in. Maybe check in with your body. Check what feels good, what feels better, what feels worse. Just do a body scan. And really root into all four corners of the feet. Keep a micro bend in the knees. Engaging your quadriceps. Lifting the kneecaps slightly with that engagement, drawing your tailbone to point down to the earth. Your abdomen is a little bit firm, so you're starting to engage the abdominals again, drawing the navel center in towards the back of your spine. Keep your shoulders nice and soft, heart is open to the front of your space, not a long regal neck, and head in proper alignment with the spine, so chin slightly back. And on your next inhalation, you can softly open the eyes if they're closed. Inhale, reach fingertips nice and high. And then exhale, float down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, reach through the crown of your head, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, and lower your left knee. Come into Crescent Moon, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach fingertips high to the sky. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Check in with alignment. Front right knees over your front ankle. Your back knee is underneath your back hip, or it could be a little bit farther back, depending on your mobility and your flexibility. But never force your hips lower than they naturally want to go. And then you'll want to engage by pulling your right front heel towards your back knee. You'll feel a slight tilt in your pelvis so that your tailbone is pointing directly down to the earth or yoga mat. And then with that engagement comes more stability, more balance, more endurance. On your next inhalation, float the fingertips high. Exhale, settle your shoulders down into the tops of your rib cages. Rib cage. You have two cages, wow. You're special. And then exhale, float your palms down, framing your front right foot. step it back. Push up into downward facing dog on your next exhalation. And then just step your left foot forward. Lower that right knee. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So, crescent moon. Draw the front heel towards the back knee. Tilt the pelvis so tailbone points down. Open the heart to the front of your space. And on your next inhale, reach fingertips high. Exhale, settle your shoulders. And take notice of how this feels. On your next exhalation, frame your front left foot. This time, tuck your right toes and step up your right foot to meet the left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll one vertebrae at a time, bending the knees, letting your head hang at the very tippy top. Hands at heart center. Let's do that a little bit faster this time, incorporating a flow. Inhale, reach fingertips high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach through the crown of your head. And exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Lower left knee, untuck the toes if you'd like. Inhale, reach fingertips high. Exhale, frame the right foot. Tuck your left toes, draw that right foot back to meet the left. Maybe this time come into high plank. Inhale, go to the tippy toes. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows are stacked over wrists. Inhale, upward facing dog. So your knees and your thighs are hovering off the mat. You can alternate with cobra if you'd like. Tuck your toes and exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe you walk your feet up a little. Create an upside down V shape. And recollect the breath. Know that everything that you are and everything that you have is all that you need right here and right now. On your next inhale, prepare to hug that left knee into your chest cavity. And as you exhale, dome out the back, lift the left knee forward, step that left foot forward and release your right knee. Come into crescent moon on the left. Inhale, reach fingertips high. Stack ankle underneath the front knee. Exhale, frame that left foot. Tuck the back toes and step up to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. This time, go ahead and heel toe your feet out so that pinky toes are aligned with the edge of your yoga mat. Grab a hold of opposite elbows and come into ragdoll. So sway from side to side, pulling your upper body out and away from your hips. Relaxing your neck. Eyes can be softly gazing at outer space, whatever, just fine. Something that you can follow your gaze on and not really think about it, so you can think more about the sensations in the body. Or your eyes can be closed. And release the palms down so that knuckles are resting on the mat. Inhale, half lift, maybe push the backs of the hands into the mat. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees generously. And then lift arms straight in front of you, palms facing one another. And slowly rise to standing tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. And walk to the top of your mat. Great job, yogis. Fix whatever needs to be fixed. And prepare for Sun A salutation. Inhale, reach fingertips high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Palms can be on shins or tops of your thighs. Exhale, plant your hands, bend your knees, and step your left foot back into high lunge. Inhale, lengthen again through the crown. And then exhale, release that left heel, come into warrior one footing. Inhale, reach fingertips nice and high, arms alongside your ears. Exhale, settle the shoulders. And draw that left hip forward. So we'll stay here for 5 rounds of breath. And for warrior one, your feet can be in hip width distance or your own hips train tracks. So make sure that your feet are wide enough so that you feel balanced and you're not surfing on your yoga mat. Draw the tailbone to point down to the earth. Draw the shoulders down into the tops of the ribs. And gaze softly in front of you. On your next inhale, prepare to fold forward. Exhale, float the arms down. Frame that right foot. Tuck your toes in the back, so lift your left heel. And then step that right foot back to meet the left into downward facing dog. Inhale, come to high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Hug those elbows into the side body. Inhale, scoop your heart forward and up. Untuck your toes. Push actively into the tops of the feet so that the knees and thighs hover. Upward facing dog. Push the shoulders down. Micro bend in the elbows. And then roll over or tuck your toes and lift your hips high as you exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Feel the awakening in your calves. Maybe sway the hips from side to side. On the next inhale, prepare to lift that left foot forward. As you exhale, dome out your belly, lift your left foot, plant it at the top of your mat between your palms. And in your left side lunge, as you inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release that right heel. The right toes are pointing to the top right of your mat. You're coming into warrior one on the left now. And when you're ready, inhale, spear arms up. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Check in with the feet. Make sure front knee stacked over the ankle. Draw that right hip forward. Settle your shoulders, open your heart, and breathe. All my warriors out there. Two more cycles of breath. On your next inhale, prepare. Exhale, float the arms down. Frame your front left foot. Tuck your back toes. And lift the left leg back to the right. Coming into full plank or modified high plank. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your belly this time. Oh yeah. Untuck your toes. Relax your lower half of your body. Hug your elbows in towards one another. So if your elbows could touch while your hands are on your mat, try to have that sensation. Pulling the elbows towards one another. And then you're opening up your heart. You're stretching out your collarbones. On an inhale, you're lifting your gaze forward, slightly tucking or scooping your tailbone down. So you're pushing your pubic bone down into the mat. You're keeping your neck nice and soft and long, so you're not crunching the back of your neck. And this is baby cobra. So baby cobra, you're really not putting any weight in your hands. You can dance them around the mat. John Travolta, maybe. Sorry, can't help myself. And slowly release the left ear to the mat. Inhale, come back to baby cobra. But this time, maybe tippy-tip the fingers out to the sides of your mat. Okay. Inhale, lift nice and tall. Point the elbows high to the sky. Coming into mama cobra. Same alignment, relaxing the legs. Try to relax your glute muscles. Try to tuck your tailbone a little bit. So your tailbone scooping down into the mat if it were humanly possible to do so. Keeping your shoulders soft and gaze soft. And slowly exhale, release your right ear now to the mat. Keeping your Ujjayi breath connected. Keeping all the sensations all tied together with your awareness.